अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह नाज़रीन, आज हम यहाँ पर यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ टोरंटो के कैंपस जो कि 89 चेस्टनट स्ट्रीट पर वाक़ है, एक इंटरनेशनल सिंपोजियम जो डेथ के बारे में है उसमें शिरकत की है मस्जिद-ए-अक़सा की तरफ से, सुन्नी इस्लामिक मिशन की तरफ से और तमाम मुसलमानों की नुमाइंदगी करते हुए। आज का टॉपिक था सेक्रेड लिविंग डेथ के बारे में, और अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारे आमिर भाई ने इस सिलसिले में काफ़ी अच्छी मालूमात अकॉर्डिंग टू कुरान एंड हदीस उनको बताई, एक अच्छा मैसेज उन तक पहुँचाया कुरान पाक का। अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि इस तरह के हमें दीन इस्लाम की खिदमत करने का मौका दिया। आइए हम आमिर भाई को अस्सलाम कहते हैं और इस बारे में इज़हार ख्याल करते हैं। अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। आमिर भाई, अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह सबसे पहले तो आपका टाइम का शुक्रिया कि यू केम हियर एंड आई नो यू आर सिक आल्सो, but especially I thank you for on behalf of all this Muslim community that you presented very well. If you say something about this, how did you feel about this?
Alhamdulillah, I think this kind of symposiums, we especially as Muslims should be participating on a regular basis. Whatever opportunity we get, we should capitalize on it. It sends strong message on behalf of Islam as to different topics, especially today when a topic like sacred art of dying. I think it's a very unique topic and it needs to be addressed in great detail, although we didn't have much time to go into and delve into some more details, but definitely whatever summary or brief message that we were able to present it, a lot of people I met afterwards, they were intrigued by it, and even right now I was with some person explaining a little bit further about it. But we definitely, I think we send a positive message, and there's a lot of interest in terms of what is dying, where do we go once we die, and what's the process. So I think it's a very unique topic, and we need to spend more time on it.
Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. Allah आपकी इन खिदमत को अपनी बारगाह में कबूल फरमाए।
I mean, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's a renowned Islamic scholar who teaches Islamic education at an early age. He belongs to the Sunni Islamic Sept. Mr. Naveed is famed for debating different topics of Islam. He's also known for his participation in interfaith dialogue and has traveled internationally to share his knowledge of Islam. We have my friend Kunga.
I begin in the name of Almighty, who is most gracious, who is most merciful. You're going to have to excuse me that I'm under the weather. I had a short notice a couple of days ago. My friend called me up and said, can you come and address a topic on the art, sacred art of dying? And I said, how ironic. I'm actually in the midst of writing a book, 500 plus pages. It's called Why Dying is Good for You. So when you said, I jumped on the opportunity, I said, hopefully I'll have the voice to go be able to address this topic. It's very unique and it's very interesting. Wherever I've traveled around the world, in fact, just next month I'm leaving again, I'll be out of the country. People said it's very fascinating when you touch the subject and you go into great detail. Actually, I've done a series about 8 to 10 years ago. It was about 7-8 months series on death and living a life as to what it is and why are we here and why are we going and where are we going. And obviously, since the inauguration of mankind on the earth, these are the questions that we all are asking, and they're lingering questions, and they need to be answered. And definitely, they need to be answered with precise and with knowledge, so you know exactly as to human being what necessary steps you need to take and address this, and how would you leave this world. And it's at the end of it, when you do leave. And obviously, your loved ones that you leave behind. And I've been hearing these other speakers as well. Definitely, it's a very painful process. And we leave the loved ones with that pain. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's like this. If this room was completely dark, we cannot see each other, we cannot see a single object. Somebody came in, obviously, if somebody came and asked us, can you run across the room? We definitely would be afraid because we don't know what obstacles lie in our way. We might trip and fall, break our neck, whatever. We'll have this fear of doing so. But however, if somebody came and turned the light switch on, and now we can see this room clearly as to where all the obstacles are, and I can make my way through, weave my way through all the obstacles, and I can walk safely across the room. That's what death is too. If somebody can turn that switch on for us, and we can clearly see what's going on and where we're going, then we will be looking forward to it. So the title that I gave to the book, Why Dying is Good for You, after the conclusion, knowing what death is, then you become looking forward to death. So a lot of people ask me, and how do you feel of living the life and moving on? And I tell them I am waiting and counting the days that when I will leave the earth. Because hereafter, the latter is better than the former. Only if you knew, if you experienced that, then it becomes very easy process, and then you begin to look forward to it, to move on to that life. Just as a child, when it was in mother's womb, that little child only thought of that world, of its mother's womb. It couldn't think of anything beyond that. And when it came into this world, it was crying, because it thought it left the world, and it was fearing and afraid of, what am I getting myself into? This is a strange world. It didn't know that. But when the lights got into his eyes and it calmed down, then it stopped crying. And now the baby grows up and begins to grow to love this world. It becomes attached to this world. And now it thinks this is it. Just as it thought that was it in its mother's womb, now it also thinks this is it. But however, this is not it. It's just like when you wear a piece of clothing. If it gets dirty, you wash it, you clean it, and you wear it back. But if it gets torn or whatever, you throw it away. But you don't shed any tears over it. But you get another piece of dress, that's it. Same thing. There's a soul in your body. Body is your piece of clothing. It is supplied here for this environment, which is the earth. And then when it moves, the soul never dies. When it moves on, then it will be given another piece of clothing in that world, according to that world, which you move on to. So why should we shed tears over this piece of clothing, which is a body? But if we understand what this piece of clothing is, then the process becomes very easy and then fearless. So that's why for me, I'm counting the days and minutes and seconds.
In Tibetan Buddhism. What's that? We can think of it this way: how the living, what can we do to, as Mutama said, to maintain a connection, a relationship with the dead? Yeah, thank you.
Looking forward to that, and hopefully I will get some more time to shed a little bit of light. But even just leaving with this thought, if you were to Google soul, and you would find very scientific information on it, because it's not tangible, it's intangible. There's nothing that scientists can really put their finger on and do tests, scientific findings that tell us definitely that this is the knowledge, this is what we know about the soul. So they know very little about the soul. So we have to go into, and I have studied as a theologian, pretty much all the scriptures of the world. And one of them that fascinated me was the Holy Book, the Quran, that I've studied over 30 years. The knowledge that it has, and I came to the conclusion that any human being that read it with a critical thinking would come to the same conclusion, that this cannot be from a human being, it has to be from God. There's things that are in there that did not exist 15 years ago. For example, we did not know that the universe is still expanding and is continuously expanding. We only discovered that recently. But that's mentioned in there. And things like that, there are many other things like that. But definitely it talks about death as well and life as well, as to what it is. But I'll have a bit more time and shed light on it as well. Thank you very much.
He said, when the person dies, his rights do not get abolished with his death. So you still have to look after that person. You still have, or she still have rights over you, the loved ones they have to look after. One of them is that during the life of the Prophet, there was a young man who came. He said, I used to travel a lot. I wasn't able to look after my elderly mother. She died. What am I supposed to do? How do I...
Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin.